Alright guys, today's goal, the learner will understand conic sections and parabolas. Alright, so we're going to be learning about conic sections, the geometry of parabola, translation of parabolas, and reflective properties of a parabola. And why? Conic sections are the paths of nature. Any free-moving object in a gravitational field follows the path of a conic section. Okay, so, parabola. Parabola is the set of all points in a plane equidistant from a particular line, that is, the directrix, and a particular point, the focus, in the plane. So if you look, here's our parabola, focus, directrix. This distance is equal to this distance, okay? So that's, you've seen parabolas a lot. These are just specific points of it. Okay, the conics are formed by cutting through this cone here, okay? So a right circular cone, the axis, the generator, the upper nape, the lower nape. Okay, now, look over here. These are all the different ones we're going to be looking at. If you cut diagonally through the top of one of the cones, it's going to form an ellipse. If you cut on an angle through it, it forms the parabola. If you go straight down through it, it's hyperbola, which is kind of two parabolas opposite each other. Then there's point on a plane. There's also, if you go right through where they join, it's a tangent line. And then they have intersecting lines. And there's also ways to be able to form circles, okay? If you go straight across parallel. So, let's look at a problem that we would do with the parabolas now. All right. It says, find an equation in standard form for the parabola whose directrix is the line x equals 3 and whose focus is the point -3, 0. Okay, well, if the directrix is x equals 3 and the focus is the point -3, 0, if I graph these, here's my directrix. Here's my focus. So if I look at this point, because they should be equidistant from the parabola, find the midpoint of them. So I have the point -3, 0 and 3, 0. And if I find the midpoint of that, I get 0, 0. So that is my vertex. And it's going to open left. So the equation, well, when it opens left or right, it's in this form. We know h is 0 and k is 0 because it's the coordinates of the vertex. Now 4p, well, we also know the directrix is h plus p, or sorry, the focus is h plus p, k. Well, h plus p equaled -3, and we know h is 0. So we know p is -3. So if you plug that in, we get y squared equals -12x. There's our equation. So these are things we're going to have to deal with, and you have that sheet that I gave you. So just to make sure you hang on to that, and we'll be good to go. See you guys tomorrow in class.